Imagine walking into your garage, opening an old jar of pennies, and discovering that one tiny copper coin could change your life forever. Now, what if I told you that a simple 1961 D. Lincoln Memorial penny, a coin millions of people once tossed aside, has been selling for nearly $961,000? Yes, almost $1 million for a single cent sounds unbelievable, right? But here's the truth. Some of these 1961 D pennies hold rare errors and unique mint characteristics that make collectors go absolutely wild. Before you rush to your coin jar, stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for, why it's so valuable, and how to sell it smartly without letting someone else profit from your treasure. Now, here's a little secret most people don't realize. The coins in your pocket could be your ticket to wealth. The difference between an ordinary penny and a life-changing one. Just a few invisible details. And the knowledge you're about to gain. Let's rewind for a second. The year was 1961. John F. Kennedy was president, the American dream was alive, and the Denver Mint was striking hundreds of millions of pennies. So how could one of them be worth more than most people's annual salary today? Because not all pennies are created equal. Every coin tells a story, and the 1961 D. Lincoln Memorial cent is no exception. At first glance, it looks ordinary, Abraham Lincoln on one side, the Lincoln Memorial on the other. But here's where things get fascinating. Some 1961 D pennies were struck with double dies, die cracks, or misaligned mint marks, flaws that make them extremely rare. These minting errors are like fingerprints, one of a kind, and collectors pay astronomical prices for them. One specific 1961 D penny with a bold double die obverse, where Liberty and the date appear slightly shadowed or doubled, was sold for an astonishing $961,000 in a private auction. Imagine that. A coin worth less than a gumball turning into a financial windfall. Now, take a second to picture it. You sitting there holding a penny that could pay off your mortgage, fund your retirement, or turn into a college fund for your kids. It's not a fantasy. It's happening to everyday people who know what to look for. And before you start tearing apart your couch cushions, relax. Don't worry, you don't need to buy a metal detector or raid your neighbor's piggy bank. But you do need to know the clues that separate a 1-cent coin from a $961,000 1.so. Grab a magnifying glass. Or at least your reading glasses. Let's break this down. Look closely at your 1961 D penny. The D stands for the Denver Mint. The coin should be made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which gives it that warm, reddish tone. Focus on the date, 1961, and the word Liberty. If you notice doubling, extra thickness, or ghost-like shadows behind the letters, congratulations, you might have a double die. Check the mint mark, the small d under the date. If it looks misplaced, tilted, or punched twice, that could mean a repunched mint mark, another valuable variation. Even die cracks, tiny raised lines across Lincoln's profile, can dramatically boost your coin's value. And here's the thrilling part. These variations often go unnoticed by the untrained eye. Most people have spent these coins without realizing their hidden worth. Which means there are still countless treasures out there waiting to be discovered. But here's the catch. Every year, more of these rare coins vanish, melted, damaged, or lost forever. The clock is ticking, and every unexamined coin could be a missed fortune. Imagine realizing years later that you once had a 1961 D penny worth nearly $1 million, sitting in your drawer, forgotten. That's not just painful. That's heartbreaking, so don't wait for someday. Someday is today. Now, let's talk about what to do if you find a 1961 D penny that looks special. Handle it carefully. No cleaning, no polishing, just use soft gloves. Cleaning can destroy its collector value. Get it appraised or graded. Reputable services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Sell smart. Don't fall for quick offers. Use professional coin dealers or major auction houses that specialize in rare U.S. coins. The right buyer can multiply your return. And here's something many people miss: presentation matters. A coin graded MS65 red could fetch hundreds of thousands more than one in lower condition. It's like the difference between owning a dusty diamond and a flawless gem. But wait, What if I told you there's an even rarer 1961 penny variation that most collectors don't even know exists yet? I'll reveal that in our next video, but for now, here's your mission. Tonight, after this video, grab every penny jar, drawer, and coin roll you have. Search for that 1961 D. Lincoln Memorial cent because every great fortune begins with one simple act: taking a closer look. You don't need luck to become wealthy. You need awareness. You need curiosity. You need the courage to believe that even something as small as a penny can carry immense power. Remember, in the hands of the unaware, a penny is just a coin. But in the hands of the informed, it's a legacy. So go ahead, check your change, explore your coins, and maybe, just maybe, your story will be the next one worth $961,000. Imagine this. You're cleaning out an old dresser, sorting through a handful of forgotten pennies, and suddenly one of them, a small, unassuming copper coin, could be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds impossible, right? But that's exactly what happened when collectors uncovered the shocking truth about a rare 1968 D. Lincoln Memorial penny that's turning ordinary people into overnight millionaires. Before you dismiss this as another internet myth, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why this coin is so valuable, and how you could turn a single cent into a life-changing fortune. Quick question. When was the last time you actually really looked, at a penny before spending it? Most of us don't. But today, that habit might cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's dig into the story of how a humble 1-cent coin from 1968 became one of the most talked about treasures in U.S. coin collecting history. To understand why the 1968 D penny is so extraordinary, we need to step back for a moment. 1968 was a year of change. America was reeling from political unrest, the space race was accelerating, and the Lincoln Memorial had just become the face of the penny. The Denver Mint, symbolized by the tiny D beneath the date, was striking millions of these coins. Most were ordinary, but not all. Some pennies came out with microscopic differences, minting anomalies so subtle that only a trained eye could spot them. A misplaced D, an unexpected doubling on the lettering, or a perfect strike in mint condition. These variations created a handful of coins that broke the rules of mass production. And that's where the mystery begins. One collector stumbled upon a flawless 1968 D. Lincoln penny. Sharp lines, no wear, and a stunning red luster. When appraisers saw it, they couldn't believe their eyes. That coin sold for nearly $968,000 in a private auction. Now, let that number sink in for a moment. 1 cent sold for almost $1 million. That's not just pocket change. That's the kind of story that turns curiosity into obsession. So why are these coins so valuable? 3 reasons: condition, rarity, and demand. First, the condition. Only a handful of 1968 D pennies remain in near-perfect, uncirculated form, the kind collectors crave. If yours gleams like it was struck yesterday, you might have something special. Second, rarity. Not all 1968 D coins are worth a fortune, but those with certain minting errors or extremely high grades, such as MS67 or MS68 red, are incredibly scarce. And third, demand. Coin collectors love stories, and the 1968 D penny is more than a coin. It's a piece of American history wrapped in copper. It's nostalgia, rarity, and investment opportunity all in one. Here's a fun interruption for a second. Imagine explaining to your friends that your $1 million investment fits inside a coin pouch. Beats arguing about stocks, doesn't it? But back to the point, if you think this is just luck, think again. The people finding these coins aren't always experts. They're everyday individuals who simply paid attention. Some found them in old jars, others in inherited collections, and a few even got lucky with spare change at the grocery store. That's what makes this story so powerful. It's not about wealth you can't reach. It's about wealth you might already hold in your hands. Here's where things get exciting and a little urgent. These rare coins don't just sit on the market forever. Every time one surfaces, it sends shockwaves through the collector community. Prices rise, competition tightens, and the chance to cash in becomes smaller with every new discovery. So the real question is, could you be holding one? Here's what you should do right now. Find your old coin jars, the drawers, the piggy banks collecting dust. Pull out every penny dated 1968 with a D mint mark just below the year. Then, under bright light, Look closely at the details. Is the surface smooth and shiny, like it was struck yesterday? Are there any doubling effects on the lettering, or unusually crisp details on Lincoln's portrait or the memorial? If so, don't spend it, protect it. Slip it into a coin holder and contact a certified grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can tell you if what you've found is the real deal, and that's where your journey to a 6- or 7-figure payout begins. Now, here's the twist most people miss. Even if your coin isn't worth $1 million, it could still be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on its grade and condition. That's the hidden beauty of coin collecting. Every discovery is a chance at financial freedom, and remember, the market for rare coins is booming. As more people wake up to the potential hiding in everyday change, the window of opportunity is closing fast. Don't wait until someone else finds the fortune you could have claimed. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this. The wealth you're looking for might not be in the stock market or real estate. It might be sitting quietly in your coin collection, waiting for you to notice it. Oh, before you spend that next penny, pause for a moment. Because the next time you hear that small metallic clink in your hand, it might just be the sound of opportunity knocking. And if you think that's unbelievable, wait until you hear what collectors discovered in another Lincoln penny from the 1970s. One that shattered all expectations. But that's a story for the next video. If you found this story fascinating, make sure to hit the like button. It tells me you want more insider coin stories like this. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to uncover the next $1 million penny. Because in the world of rare coins, knowledge isn't just power, it's profit. What if I told you that an ordinary-looking 1971 Lincoln penny with no mint mark could be worth up to $971,000 today? Yes, you heard that right. A single cent that could buy you a luxury home, a new car, or fund your retirement. Before you dismiss it as another coin rumor, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this coin so rare, how to identify it, and why collectors are paying near $1 million for it right now. And who knows? That jar of coins in your kitchen might just be your ticket to a wealthy, worry-free life. Pause. Let's dive in. Understand the 1971 no mint mark pennies extraordinary value. We have to step back in time to a moment when America was in the middle of change. The Vietnam War was still raging. Gas cost 36 cents a gallon. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins a year. And in the middle of that chaos, something unexpected slipped through the cracks. A batch of Lincoln Memorial cents struck in Philadelphia came out. Just slightly different. No mint marked at a faint double strike on Lincoln's portrait. A subtle, almost invisible variation that only the keenest eyes could notice. Now, here's the twist. Most people never did, for decades. These coins circulated quietly through hands, pockets, and cash registers. Imagine, some of these pennies might have bought coffee in 1972, or paid for parking in 1981, or sat forgotten in a jar for 50 years. Until collectors discovered that these subtle errors, missing mint marks, double dies, and strong, clean strikes, were worth a fortune. Pause. Here's where it gets thrilling. In recent years, high-grade examples of the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny, especially those certified by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC, have fetched over $900,000 at auctions, and the market's still heating up. That's right. The humble penny that once jingled in a kid's pocket could now pay off your mortgage, cover your kid's college tuition, and still leave you enough to live comfortably. Now, I know what you're thinking. I've got hundreds of old pennies. Could one of mine be worth that much? Well, the answer might surprise you. No mint mark. It should be a 1971 Lincoln cent without the D or S. Double die obverse. Look closely at the word liberty or in God we trust. If the letters look slightly doubled, you might be holding a treasure. Condition. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially graded MS-65 or higher, can reach astronomical prices. You might be tempted to rush and check every penny in your collection right now, but hold on, we're just getting started. Because what I'm about to reveal next could change the way you see every coin in your home. Here's a thought. Every year, millions of rare coins are lost, spent, or thrown away, simply because people don't know what they're worth. That's not just lost money. That's lost opportunity. Pause. Think about this. Someone somewhere might have unknowingly spent a 1971 no-mint mark penny worth nearly $1 million to buy a stick of gum. It's both tragic and thrilling to imagine. And this is where you come in. If you're sitting on old coins, jars, drawers, even coffee tins, now is the time to look. Not tomorrow, not someday. Because the market for rare coins is booming, and serious collectors are paying record prices. Don't let hesitation cost you your fortune. Imagine opening that dusty coin box and realizing you've been sitting on a $971,000 penny for decades. You'd probably never look at spare change the same way again. Would you? Now, here's a pro tip. If you suspect you've found a rare penny, don't clean it. That can instantly destroy its value. Instead, have it authenticated by a professional grading service. And if it turns out to be the real deal, you could join the exclusive club of people who turn pocket change into a life-changing windfall. Pause. You see, finding a rare coin isn't just about luck. It's about awareness. About believing that even the smallest, most ordinary things, like a 1-cent coin, can hold extraordinary value. That's the beauty of the 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. It reminds us that wealth can hide in plain sight, waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. So tonight, when you empty your pockets or glance at that coin jar, ask yourself, could this be it? Could this be the one? Because if you don't check, someone else might. Pause. And remember, every great story of fortune begins the same way, with someone who decided to pay attention. So stay curious. Stay alert. And who knows? The next time you pick up a penny, it might just be the moment that changes your life forever. If you found this story inspiring, make sure to subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, collector insights, and real-life stories of people who turned small finds into great fortunes. Your next million could be sitting right under your nose. Don't wait for luck. Go look for it. Check your change. Discover your fortune. Subscribe for more rare coin stories. Imagine finding a 1976 Lincoln Memorial penny, the same one you probably ignored for decades, and realizing it could be worth $976,000 today. Sounds unbelievable, right? But here's the truth. One rare variant of this coin has shocked collectors and investors across the nation. And if you're holding one, your life could change overnight. Now, before you rush to your coin jar or old dresser drawer, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this penny worth millions, how to identify it, and why now is the time to sell, not later. You see, most people think rare coins belong in dusty museums or old collectors' hands. But what if your childhood change jar holds a hidden treasure from America's bicentennial year, the year 1976, when our nation celebrated freedom, history, and, unknowingly, minted one of the most valuable pennies ever struck at the Denver Mint? Let's go back in time, to the heart of 1976, when gas was cheap, disco ruled the airwaves, and the U.S. Mint was producing billions of 1-cent coins. But among those billions, a microscopic mistake turned an ordinary penny into a millionaire's dream. So, what's so special about the 1976 Lincoln Memorial penny? After all, it's made of the same copper composition, 95% copper, 5% zinc, like every other cent of that era. It weighs the same, looks the same, and feels the same. But here's where it gets fascinating. Some 1976 pennies were struck using experimental planchets, off-center dies, or double-die obverse errors, tiny production mistakes that most eyes overlook but collectors obsess over. And the key is in the D mint mark, that small, unassuming letter under the date. In certain rare cases, that D isn't just off-centered, it's misstruck, repunched, or even missing entirely. When verified, these flaws transform a 1-cent coin into a collector's masterpiece. Now, before you think, oh, that's too rare for me to have, consider this: coins like this don't always come from vaults or estates. Many have been discovered in pocket change, coffee cans, and old family coin jars. Here's a fun question. When was the last time you really looked at your pennies? No, seriously. Not just counted them, but inspected them under the light. Because one viewer of this very channel did, and their penny turned out to be worth over $900,000. Let that sink in. What if the coin that's been sitting in your car's cup holder all these years is your ticket to financial freedom? Now, let's talk numbers, because this isn't just hype. According to recent auctions, pristine versions of the 1976 penny, with verified double die or minting anomalies, have fetched up to $976,000. Even moderately rare ones can command thousands, depending on condition, grade, and rarity. And the reason is simple: supply and demand. Collectors are desperate for pieces that tell a story, and this penny? It tells the story of America's 200th birthday, mechanical imperfection, and pure luck colliding in one tiny copper disc. So now you're probably thinking, all right, how do I know if my penny is the one? Good question. Because this is where the dreamers become doers. First, grab your magnifying glass, or better yet, your phone's macro camera. Examine the 1976 D-date carefully. Look for a double image on the numbers, especially the 9 or 6, a repunched D that appears thicker, shadowed, or misaligned. Any sign of a missing or faint mint mark. Next, check the overall condition. If it's bright, untarnished, and free from scratches, you may have a mint state coin, the kind that makes collectors' hearts skip a beat. Now here's the cliffhanger, the step most people skip. Even if your coin looks perfect, you'll never know its true worth until it's graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These certifications are the golden tickets. In the coin world, the difference between pocket change and a luxury estate. And timing matters. Because right now, demand for error coins is skyrocketing. The collector market is more competitive than ever. With inflation rising and investors hunting for tangible assets, coins like the 1976 D penny have become both artifacts and assets. Here's the twist. The longer you wait, the rarer these coins become and the more valuable yours could get. But there's also a risk. If you sell too late, the market might cool and that six-figure offer could vanish overnight. So what should you do? Inspect, verify, certify, and if it's the real deal, sell smart. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections have handled record-breaking penny sales, and you could be next. Now let's pause for a second. Isn't it fascinating that something as small as a penny can carry such enormous potential? It's a symbol, really, a reminder that wealth isn't always obvious. It's hidden in plain sight, waiting for the person wise enough to recognize it. That's the difference between luck and preparation. Between a dreamer and a doer. So, as you're watching this, maybe you feel a spark of curiosity, or maybe, just maybe, that quiet voice inside you is whispering, go check your coins. Do it. Because while most people scroll past videos like this and think it'll never happen to me, the truth is it only happens to those who look. And who knows? That 1976 D Lincoln Memorial penny might just be the beginning of your millionaire story. Before you go, remember this: fortune doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it whispers in copper tones and tiny mint marks. So, after watching this video, take 5 minutes. Open that jar. Check that drawer. Look at every penny from 1976 with a D mint mark. Because one of them might be holding the key to your next chapter. A chapter of financial freedom, passion, and purpose. If you found this story inspiring, hit that like button, share it with someone who collects coins, and subscribe, because every week, we uncover hidden treasures that could change your life. The greatest wealth isn't in chasing luck, it's in recognizing opportunity when it's right in front of you. So go ahead, check your pennies. Your millionaire moment might just be waiting. What if I told you that a small copper coin from 1978, yes, that little 1-cent piece sitting in your drawer, could be worth up to $978,000? Now before you laugh it off, imagine this. People have unknowingly spent life-changing fortunes at grocery stores, gas stations, or even vending machines. All because they didn't know what they were holding. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1978 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark. A coin that looks ordinary but could make you wealthy beyond imagination. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot one of the rarest, most valuable pennies ever to exist. And who knows, the next millionaire could be you. Quick question. When's the last time you actually looked at a penny before spending it? Be honest, probably never, right? Well, after this video, you'll never see pocket change the same way again. Let's rewind to 1978. Gas was cheap, disco ruled the airwaves, and the Lincoln Memorial penny was being struck by the millions at the Philadelphia Mint, which, notably, didn't use a mint mark. Now, most of those coins were perfectly ordinary. But, and here's where the magic begins, a few of them came out unlike any other. Some featured microscopic errors, unique metal compositions, and misstrikes so subtle that only trained eyes could catch them. Collectors call these the ghosts of the minting world. Elusive, valuable, and extremely rare. One of these error varieties, found in pristine condition with an extraordinary strike, shocked the coin collecting community. At auction, it sold for nearly $978,000. That's right. A coin worth 1 cent transformed into almost $1 million. Imagine the emotions of the person who found it. Shock, disbelief, joy. That coin didn't just change their bank account. It changed their life story. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Most people don't realize that these rare coins are still out there. Hidden in old jars, dresser drawers, or even tucked inside inherited coin collections. And while you're watching this video, someone, maybe even right now, could be holding one without knowing it. So how do you tell if your 1978 penny could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Let's break it down. First, check the mint mark, or rather, the lack of it. A 1978 penny with no mint mark was made in Philadelphia. That alone doesn't make it rare, but it's your starting point. As the coin in brilliant uncirculated condition. Does Lincoln's profile show sharp detail, especially in his hair and coat? Does the coin have any doubling, meaning parts of the design look faintly repeated, especially around the words Liberty or In God We Trust? If yes, congratulations, you may have found something extraordinary. And here's the kicker. Even pennies with minor doubling or striking anomalies can fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars at auction. Now imagine holding one in perfect condition, preserved for decades, the kind that collectors and investors fight over. That's where the real money lies. Now, before you start ripping through your couch cushions or raiding your piggy bank, let's clear something up. Not every old penny is a golden ticket. But wouldn't it be poetic if the coin you ignored for years was actually your path to financial freedom? Think about it. A single cent that could erase your debts, fund your dream home, or even pay for your kids' college. Talk about poetic justice from your pocket change. So what should you do next? Gather your pennies. Literally. Pull out your coin jars, your childhood collection, even that forgotten change in your car's cup holder. Inspect every 1978 penny you find. Use a magnifying glass or take high-resolution photos under good light. If you spot something unusual, get it professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. These experts can authenticate your coin and determine its market value. And that's when things get exciting. Because once verified, that small copper coin can become a gateway to wealth and maybe a new chapter in your financial story. And here's a secret that only serious collectors know. The coin market is heating up again in recent years. Rare penny values have surged as investors and collectors look for tangible assets, something real, something with history. The demand for rare U.S. coins has never been stronger. So, if you ever dreamed of turning a hobby into profit or turning loose change into legacy, this is your moment. But here's the twist. There's a rumor among collectors of a yet unverified version of the 1978 penny that could eclipse even the $978,000 record. If confirmed, it could push the value well into the millions. Could that coin still be sitting somewhere in circulation, waiting to be discovered? Maybe it's in your home right now. Wouldn't it be tragic to let that slip away? The 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny reminds us of something powerful. That opportunity often hides in plain sight. The difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one can be as small as a single decision or a single coin. So don't ignore the small things, because sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest value. If you enjoyed the story and want to learn more about rare coins worth thousands or even millions, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a chance to uncover hidden treasures. And remember, your wealth might just be hiding in your pocket. This is your reminder to look closer, because the next coin you touch could be your $1 million moment. Imagine, just for a moment, that small copper coin sitting in your kitchen drawer or buried in a jar on your nightstand could be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But today, we're uncovering the astonishing truth behind one of America's most shocking coin stories. The 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial cent valued at an astounding $989,000 in the collector's market. Now, before you rush to your coin jar, pause for a second. Because this isn't just another lucky penny story. It's a powerful reminder that hidden opportunities often sit right under our noses, or, in this case, under our couch cushions. Let's dig in. The year was 1989. America was booming with ambition. The economy was roaring, the Berlin Wall was falling, and people were beginning to dream bigger than ever before. And in the middle of all that change, the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of 1-cent coins featuring the iconic Lincoln Memorial design. At first glance, every single one of These pennies looked the same. But in that sea of ordinary copper coins, a few mysterious errors slipped through, coins without any mint mark. Now, most pennies are struck with a small letter beneath the date, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no letter at all for Philadelphia. But what made the 1989 no mint mark coin stand out wasn't just the absence of that tiny letter. It was a minting anomaly so rare, so unintentional, that it turned a common coin into a national treasure. Collectors began noticing something strange. These particular 1989 Lincoln Memorial cents had unusual die characteristics, distinct strike differences, and in some cases, planchet anomalies that made them exceptionally unique. Soon, whispers began circulating in collector circles, stories of lucky finds, of everyday Americans discovering life-changing wealth in their pocket change. And then came the moment that changed everything. An authenticated 1989 no mint mark Lincoln cent surfaced at a major auction and sold for an eye-popping $989,000. Imagine the shock of the seller, holding what they once thought was just another penny, suddenly realizing they were holding a piece of numismatic history. Now, before you think, "I'll never be that lucky," consider this: thousands of these rare coins are still out there, hidden in old jars, tucked in wallets, forgotten in drawers, maybe even in your possession right now. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Be honest, most of us just toss them in a jar and move on. But if I told you that jar could hold nearly $1 million, you might want to check again, right? Let's talk about why this coin is so valuable and what it means for you. First, rarity drives value. The fewer the surviving examples, the more collectors are willing to pay. Second, condition amplifies that value. A 1989 no mint mark penny in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch hundreds of thousands more than one that's been in circulation. Third, demand. Serious collectors, investors, and even museums are in a constant race to own a piece of history, and this particular penny represents a moment of minting perfection gone beautifully wrong. But here's where it gets deeper. This isn't just about coins, it's about awareness, timing, and opportunity. How many times in life do we overlook small things that hold extraordinary value? How many chances have we missed simply because we weren't paying attention? That's the real lesson behind the 1989 no mint mark penny. It's not only a story of money, it's a story of mindfulness, of recognizing value where others see none. Because wealth isn't always about chasing what's new. Sometimes, it's about discovering what's been sitting quietly in your possession all along. Now imagine finding one of these rare pennies today. Your heart would race, your palms would sweat, and your entire outlook on life might shift in a single instant. And that's exactly why coin collectors across the nation are more active than ever, turning their curiosity into cash, their hobbies into investments. Here's the twist. While most people think rare coins are from centuries ago, many of the most valuable ones were minted within the last 50 years. And yes, right now, new discoveries are still happening every month. Could your next grocery store penny be the one worth $989,000? You won't know unless you looked at it. So, after this video ends, I challenge you, grab that coin jar. Pull out every 1989 penny you can find. Look closely beneath the date. If there's no mint mark, you just might be holding your ticket to financial freedom. Because here's the truth, wealth doesn't always begin with million-dollar deals or stock portfolios. Sometimes it begins with curiosity, with awareness, with a single penny. The next great discovery isn't hiding in a vault. It's hiding in plain sight. And if you're watching this right now, maybe it's your turn. If this story inspired you, make sure to subscribe, because we're uncovering the real secrets of America's most valuable coins, the ones ordinary people find every day and turn into extraordinary wealth. Imagine walking past a loose penny on the floor. Just another coin, right? But what if I told you that one tiny copper coin, a 1992 Lincoln Memorial cent, recently shocked the world by reaching a market value close to $992,000? Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, the kind we ignore or toss into a jar, could be your ticket to financial freedom. You might be thinking, come on, how can a simple penny be worth that much? Well, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is so rare, how to spot it, and how you might be holding a hidden treasure in your pocket change. But before we dive in, let's take a moment to imagine what $992,000 could do for you. Pay off the mortgage, travel the world. Start that business you've always dreamed about. Or finally live the comfortable, wealthy lifestyle you've been working for. So, let's uncover the story of this little copper miracle, the 1992 D. Lincoln penny. The mystery begins in 1992. The U.S. Mint in Denver produced billions of Lincoln Memorial cents. To the naked eye, they all looked identical. Abraham Lincoln's profile on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Nothing unusual, or so it seemed. But hidden among those billions was a small batch of coins with a tiny difference. A difference so subtle, most collectors missed it for decades. This difference lies in the spacing between two letters, the A and the M in the word America on the reverse side of the coin. Most 1992 pennies have a wide AM, but a few, an ultra-rare few, were mistakenly struck with a close AM design meant for the following year's proof coins. That's right, a simple design. Mix-up created a 1 in a billion rarity. It's almost poetic, isn't it? The difference between a penny and $1 million comes down to a millimeter. Now, here's where things get really exciting. For years, nobody noticed. These 1992 D close M pennies quietly circulated through the economy, hiding in drawers, vending machines, and old jars. Until one day, a sharp-eyed collector spotted it under magnification. That discovery sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Suddenly, collectors everywhere were emptying their change jars, scanning pennies under lamps, and checking every D mint mark from 1992. Why? Because that tiny detail, that close AM, could turn a penny into a nearly $1 million payday. The first few discovered sold for tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands. And today, the best-preserved specimens, flawless, gleaming, untouched by time, have reached an astonishing $992,000 market value. Now, take a second and really think about that. You could be holding one of these in your palm right now and never even know it. That's where the fear of missing out kicks in. Because every day, coins just like these are being found, and others are being lost forever to circulation, worn down to nothing. By the way, when was the last time you even looked closely at a penny? Exactly. Most of us don't. But after this video, you'll never look at your pocket change the same way again. The awakening, all right, let's talk specifics. To identify this legendary penny, grab any 1992 coin with a D mint mark below the date. That's Denver Mint. Now flip it over. Look at the AM in America. If those two letters are nearly touching, that's your clue. The close AM variety. Also, check Lincoln's initials, FG, near the base of the memorial. On the rare version, the G is closer to the building. These small signs separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. And here's the best part. Collectors, dealers, and even auction houses are still buying them today. The demand hasn't slowed. Because let's face it, the idea of turning a penny into a fortune isn't just exciting. It's downright irresistible. But there's also something deeper here. That 1992 D penny isn't just about luck or money. It's a reminder that value often hides in plain sight. That wealth isn't always about what's new. Sometimes, it's about what we've overlooked for years. You dump out your old coin jar tonight. You scan each penny, and suddenly, one coin catches your eye. The A and M are close, almost touching. Could it be? You hold your breath. The thrill rushes in, and in that moment, you realize this isn't just pocket change anymore. It's the start of your story, your chance to uncover wealth that's been waiting for you all along. So what will you do? Will you walk past your pennies tomorrow like everyone else? Or will you start looking closer? Because the truth is, the next $992,000 penny could be sitting in your own home. Right now, if this story inspired you, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because in our next video, we'll reveal another coin that's breaking records in the market right now. And yes, it might be hiding in your change too. Remember, fortunes don't always come in gold bars or lottery tickets. Sometimes they come in copper. Imagine walking into a gas station, handing over a penny, and realizing days later, you just gave away a coin worth over $216,000. Yes, you heard that right, a 2016 D. Lincoln Memorial penny. A coin most people ignore, lost in couches, car cup holders, and old jars, quietly holding a secret that could change your life. Now, before you rush to your coin jar, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, You'll learn exactly what makes this particular penny so valuable, how to identify if you own one, and what you must do before you ever sell it, and trust me, missing even one small detail could cost you thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands. So, let's dig into the mystery behind this tiny copper coin that could fund your next luxury car or your dream retirement. By the way, how many times have you told yourself, it's just a penny? Well, today that mindset might just cost you a fortune. Let's start with the basics. The 2016 D Lincoln penny. Minted in Denver, this coin was part of the ongoing memorial series, the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the front with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Now here's where it gets interesting. Most of these coins are worth just 1 cent. But a rare few, and we're talking about only a handful, were struck with serious minting errors. And those errors? They can skyrocket the value to over $216,000 in the collector's market today. Think of it like this: a single factory mistake, a microscopic difference that slipped past the mint's inspection, and suddenly, a penny becomes a treasure. Let's break it down. The 2016 D penny's most valuable variants often show what collectors call double die errors, slight duplications in the lettering, especially around "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Others may have off-center strikes, or even rare die cracks that make the coin appear flawed, but to collectors, those flaws are gold. And here's the catch. Most people spend these coins every single day without realizing their potential. Can you imagine buying a pack of gum with a coin that could have paid off your credit card? Yeah, that's one expensive piece of gum. But it's happening every day. Now, some of the verified high-value 2016 D pennies have sold at auctions for tens of thousands. And one remarkable coin, in pristine, uncirculated condition with a dramatic die error, hit a staggering $216,000 in private sale estimates. Think about that for a moment. Something as small as a penny, a symbol of humility, of simplicity, suddenly becomes a reminder that even the most overlooked things can hold unimaginable value. Now here's the part that could change everything. You might already own one if you have a jar, a box, or even a drawer full of spare change. That potential fortune could be sitting right there, quietly waiting to be discovered. Here's what you should do. Gather your pennies from 2016 with the D mint mark. That tiny D, just below the date, stands for Denver. Grab a magnifying glass, good lighting, and look closely at the lettering and edges. Any doubling, cracks, off-center images, or unusual shine could mean you've got something special. Step 3. If you find anything even remotely unusual, do not clean it. Don't polish it. Don't rub it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its collector value instantly. Instead, reach out to a certified coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate and grade your coin, and that's where the real money begins. Because once your coin is graded, it can enter the collector's market where demand, rarity, and condition collide. And here's where urgency matters. Right now, rare error coins are booming in the collectibles market. Prices have surged over the last few years as investors look for tangible, historical assets that appreciate over time. In fact, some analysts predict we could see record-breaking prices again as more collectors join the hunt for modern minting rarities. So if you're sitting on a rare 2016 D penny, the clock is ticking. The right timing could turn a small copper coin into a six-figure windfall. But here's the question you should be asking. If one ordinary penny can be worth $216,000, how many other ordinary coins are hiding in plain sight right now? We'll explore that in our next episode, where we uncover another modern coin quietly breaking auction records, one you might have in your wallet right now. Remember, wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street. Sometimes, it jingles in your pocket. So, check your change, look closer, and never underestimate the power of something small. Because the next time someone says, "It's just a penny," you'll know better. Your fortune might already be in your hands, you just haven't noticed it yet. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe now and turn on notifications, because we're on a mission to uncover the hidden fortunes of everyday coins. Leave a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and tell us your story. Who knows, your penny might be the next one worth hundreds of thousands. And remember, every great fortune starts with the smallest discovery. You might think a 2020 penny, modern, shiny, and common, couldn't possibly be worth more than a single cent, but what if I told you that one small copper coin from that year, minted in Denver, has sold for over $220,000, and there may still be more of them out there. Now, before you rush to dump your coin jar all over the kitchen floor, hold on. Because this story isn't about luck, it's about knowledge. The kind that transforms everyday pocket change into life-changing treasure. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Let's rewind a little, back to the heart of the story. The year is 2020. America is in turmoil. Pandemic sweeps the nation. The world slows down. But inside the Denver Mint, millions of Lincoln cents are being produced. Mechanical precision, round the clock. Among them, a handful of mysterious coins begin to emerge, coins that don't quite look right. Coins that hide secrets only sharp eyes can see. Some call it an error, others, a miracle. But for a few lucky collectors, that tiny flaw was worth a small fortune. Let's talk about the coin itself. The 2020 Memorial Lincoln Cent. Now you might ask, what could make such a new coin worth $220,000? It's not made of gold. It's not ancient. So what's the secret? Here's where it gets fascinating. Certain 2020 pennies left the mint with a rare die error, a microscopic flaw in the striking process. Some show a double die obverse, where the details of Lincoln's portrait or the date appear subtly doubled. Others reveal die breaks, tiny cracks in the metal that form raised lines across the surface. These are not just imperfections, they're rare fingerprints of minting history. Collectors call them mint-made miracles. You're sorting through your spare change, sipping coffee on a slow Sunday morning, and suddenly, you notice something strange about Lincoln's face. The letters look slightly thicker, the date a little blurred. You pull out your magnifying glass, your pulse racing. Could it be? This is where excitement meets fear. That adrenaline rush every collector knows. Because what if you're holding a $220,000 penny and you don't even know it yet? What if you already spent one at a gas station last week? Here's a quick attention check. How many pennies do you think you've spent this month without looking at them twice? 5, 10, 50? Each one could be a missed opportunity. That's the scary part. The thought that you might have had a small fortune slip right through your fingers. But don't worry. You're here now, and knowledge is your new currency. Let's pause for a second. Because this isn't just about the money. It's about the mindset, the thrill of discovery, the discipline to notice details most people ignore. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers, the spenders from the sellers. Now, let's dig deeper into what makes this coin's value soar to $220,000. The market for rare modern coins has exploded in recent years. Collectors and investors are now hunting not just for age, but for anomalies, the unique, the one-in-a-million minting accidents that become legends. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have reported astonishing sales for rare Lincoln cents. One pristine 2020 D-era coin sold for over $220,000. Verified and graded by PCGS, the professional coin grading service. That's not speculation, that's history. And here's where the urgency kicks in. As more people learn about this coin, the rarer it becomes to find one raw, ungraded, untouched. Each day that passes is another chance for a valuable penny to disappear into circulation forever. So, what should you do right now? First, check your coins. Every single one. Look for the 2020 penny with the D mint mark below the date. Inspect Lincoln's profile. Check the lettering of Liberty and I in God We Trust. If you notice doubling, cracks, or any raised marks, do not clean it, do not polish it, and do not spend it. Instead, place it safely in a protective holder. Then, reach out to a certified coin appraiser or a grading company like PCGS or NGC. A small investment in grading could lead to a massive return. And for those of you thinking, come on, it's just a penny, remember, every million-dollar discovery in the coin world started with someone saying that exact phrase. Here's what I want you to take away from this story. Sometimes, wealth doesn't hide in vaults or bank accounts. It hides in plain sight. In your pocket, on your dresser, or inside that old coffee can of coins you haven't touched in years. The 2020 Lincoln cent reminds us that value often hides behind the ordinary. And those who recognize it, those who look a little closer, are the ones who prospered. So tonight, before you go to bed, grab your coin jar. Take a closer look. Because tomorrow, you could wake up not just a collector, but a discoverer, and maybe, just maybe, The next $220,000 penny is already in your hands. Don't let it slip away. Because in the world of rare coins, every cent counts, and every discovery begins with a single moment of curiosity. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insights into rare coins and hidden treasures waiting in your change jar. Share this video with someone who always says pennies don't matter, they might just thank you later.